Hi, so today I want to talk about writing fatigue. I think a lot of writers end up hitting walls and, they might think that they have writer's block. And we've talked about writer's block and my feelings on that. But that aside, everybody's going to hit mental barriers. And so what I want to talk about is what to do with those mental barriers. For example, you might find your productivity greatly lagging, or you might find that you're really just grinding through your writing sessions where before you're flying through them. Now, you want to make sure that the reason you're lagging isn't because you're just having plot-related issues or character concerns, or generally, fatigued in other areas of your life, and that's having uh, uh, um, an effect down the line into your writing. There are a number of reasons. It's like I said, it's a lot of the stuff that we actually discussed in the writing block video. However, with that said, there actually are times when you're just gonna be fatigued in a vacuum simply by writing, and that's okay. That's gonna happen to everybody. Um, I like to compare it to working out. So when you're working out, often uh, people who are really experienced at training, they'll work within cycles. So they'll ramp up and then they'll taper off, or they might take a week off, or they might have a week where they what they call a deload week, where they just back off completely and they just do very light, like weight compared to what they normally would do, or very light or very minimal volume. So I think you can do that. You can kind of apply that same logic to writing. If you find that session after session after session, you're you're not liking your writing, you're feeling exhausted, you're not producing uh, uh, as many words as you think you should be, all that kind of stuff. Start asking yourself what it is. Is it that you're mentally exhausted, that you've been maybe working on this novel for months on end? And even if it is other things in your life, that's fine. That can also contribute to that mental fatigue. But whatever it is, it's important to be able to identify that. I think a lot of this comes down to practice. Um, when you start, you have a great deal of you might have a great deal of momentum, and you just really can just fly through anything. And then later on, when you're now on the 20th chapter and you're hundreds of pages in, and you have to keep track of all these different characters and plot lines, you start feeling that exhaustion. And at that point, cool, back off. Take a few sessions off, take a few days off, write less, or just write when you feel like it for a couple of weeks. It's as long as with some kind of confidence, and again, this will just come with time, that this is not a matter of you just being affected by maybe a breakdown in discipline, or maybe not a breakdown in motivation, which you just need to build up in other ways, but rather it's that you're actually just exhausted having done work again and again and again and again, and you know, it's just affecting the quality of your work or the volume of your work. This can then be a great time for you to maybe switch to editing. If that's still too much and you just want to be completely from your writing, fine. Then this can be a great time to go back to the things that made you fall in love with writing or storytelling in general. Reread those books or read something new, or focus on, maybe you want to be away from writing and reading altogether. Okay, then take a break altogether and maybe watch film. It's a great way to refresh, get some new perspective, and get excited for writing again. It's the same thing with so many things, right? There's so many passions that no matter how passionate you are, at some point you start to run low. And at that point, that doesn't mean that, somehow your passion wasn't there before, it wasn't authentic. It just means that you're a human being. You need to refresh yourself, you need to reset and get going again. So I hope you found this video helpful. It's always okay to take a break. Don't be too hard on yourself. So please like this video, subscribe. If you have any feelings about what I've just said, leave it in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Take care.